Evening people, welcome back to the channel. Oh my god, I've left that on again. There we go. Right, tonight, Thursday League, the Renault Megane Trophy Thursday with the P1 boys. It's a 40-minute race, 15 minutes of qualifying. You can see on screen there, racing super softs to racing soft tyres. Starting with only 50 litres of fuel. Tyre wear is on times 7, fuel is on times 3. Tonight we are live at round 2, Kyoto, Tamagiwa. That's where we are. Awkward little track, this one. Yo, 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 Aaron, how you doing? You racing tonight? You're not racing tonight? We'll find out in a second. Let's see if you're in this lobby. Let's have a quick look at scores. I'll just make that bigger so my old man eyes can see it. P1 Timberlake, he should be racing tonight then. I can't see you in a lobby. Why? Why aren't you in here? No. Why aren't you racing tonight, Mr. Timberlake, or are you just late getting into this lobby? Right, but forget that. P1 Timberlake is leading the way, 21 points after last week's round at Dragon Trail Seaside. Don in second, 18 points. Gamer Dad third with 15 points. Fizz Ruckus, 12 points. No racing. Oh, you're working, that's right. Yeah, of course you are. Yeah, why didn't you take your PlayStation and wheel and rig and stuff with you? Fizz Ruckus in, what are you, fourth with 12 points. 11 points for Pilgrim in fifth. 6 for Manny. 10 points, 9 points for Green P. Valium has got 8 points, 7 points for Aldo. Dodgy on 6. And Lawrence was a bit of a stand-in last week, but I don't think he's making an appearance this week. So that's points up until now, and the other drivers behind obviously not taking part so far. D4TC Sim Racing. Evening, mate. Let's go Green P. Shouts for the man. Right. So that's the circuit you can see in the centre of your screen there. It varies in height quite a lot as well, this circuit. There's a few little switcheroonies going on. See how the drivers get on. So we are in the Renault Meganes, being as it's the Renault Megane Trophy League. You would expect that, wouldn't you? A couple of new drivers who've got Chainsaw LTU. He's a stand-in for Tamosius. Tamosius unable to make it this week. Magenta Fez is also back in the house this week, unable to make it last week. She was stuck in a different city, I think. And everyone else pretty much as they were. Pilgrim, Magenta Fez, Fizz Ruckus, Manny, Dizzy, Aldo, Dylan, Gamer Dad, Valium, Chainsaw, Green P, Dodgy, Convicts Popeye and Don all in the house. 15 out of 16. Are we going to get the last place filled? I don't know. I don't know. I assume the sound's coming through alright if you can all hear me and it's not too clunky or I don't sound like a Dalek or something. It has happened in the past. Gamer Dad, I'm sure he's going to put in another lap. This is first of his hot ones. So he does onto this start and finish straight, then a quick lap round this Tamagiwa circuit. I do like this track myself. Yes, Don getting a shout out for taking top spot on Team Ireland in the team versus team last night. Good drive. So around that long sweeping left. The switchbacks are a lot more difficult the other way around. These can't carry anywhere near as much speed, but you're carrying more speed when you come into them. You just have to back off. So up and over the hill. a hairpin. The longest straight of this circuit. And into this awkward chicane section. Left, right, left and up the hill. Got to get that one right. Getting a little bit more tricky coming down the hill. Up through the right towards the hairpin. Nice and tight this hairpin as well. Got to get this one right. Might see one or two dives for position here. Well, nothing new there, Aaron. To the next chicane. Through the right, through the left. Just have to let off on the way out. Otherwise you might run on the grass, as Gamer Dad almost did. Down towards this final turn. Another hairpin. As much of that apex as possible. Back onto that start finish straight. Let's just stick with him and see what he's got. He's currently got himself in third at the minute. Puts 137.5 in, so sticks in third for now. Let's have a run through then. So Dizzy currently on pole, 137.4. 5 minutes into quali already. He's just been pipped by Dylan. He's put a 136.969 in as Dylan sticks himself on pole. Dizzy is second now. They're 137.487. Gamer Dad in third, 137.5. Manny in fourth, 138.2. Pilgrim in fifth with a 138.6. Fizz sixth with a 138.7. Convicts 138.9. He's got himself in seventh. Himself out while some of these guys on hot laps come through. Just been pushed down to 8th there. Convicts. Chainsaw getting himself onto pole. We'll go and have a look at that. Valium 9th now, 139.0. Aldo 10th, 139.4. P1 Don taking the win at the team versus team, not the team versus team, the Nations Cup, sorry, last night. Driving for Team Ireland. Got the Kerry Gold livery on as well. Representing tonight. So Green P in 12th, 139.9 for Green P. Also getting shouts in the chat. Dodgy in 13th, 141.0. Magenta Fez in 14th, 151.5. So completely new to the sim racing world is Magenta Fez. And here he is. Lithuanian, I think it's a Lithuanian. Danish flag? Danish flag. Can't hear me great over the cars. Alright, that's fine. I can jiggle with that. Let me jiggle. How's that? That should be way better now. Turn the cars down and me up. It might be too much the other way. Yeah, so Chainsaw, the standing driver then, has got himself onto provisional pole. Almost 2 tenths quicker than next closest rival, Dylan. Cheers, Curtis. Dizzy third currently. I'd push down another position then. Another Irish driver there, Manny. They do seem to be piling into the P1 chat groups and stuff, kind of taking over a little bit. We love our Irish brethren. Great big pile of Renaults coming down here. You know you're on qualifying, boys, don't you? You're just trying to gain a little bit of a toe. Ooh, Convict's nearly getting it wide. That's that chicane I was talking about. Just got to be so careful on the exit. Stick your car straight into the wall through there. So a few drivers chucking themselves in the pits, getting a fresh set of tyres on. Good to hear, Curtis. So Chainsaw, what's he got this lap? 137. 137.1. So only 2 drivers in the 136s at the minute. Dylan is a little bit, just over half a second back. Gamer Dad still 4th, Don 5th. Gone a little bit quicker there, 138.0 for Don. Manny in 6th, 138.0 for him. Tiny bit slower than Don. Valium in 7th, 138.3. Pilgrim in 8th, 138.6. Fizruckus in 9th, still on that lap 2, 138.7. Convicts in the pits. Aldo in 11th. Convicts is in 10th, by the way. He's also in the pits. 139.4 for Aldo. Also driving in the Nations Cup. Green P. Another RS driver, as well as P1 Don, who's just behind at the minute. Both drivers coming in the pits, but Green P 12th. What time did he have? 139.5. Did I read out Convicts this time? I don't think I did. 138.9 for Convicts. Green P back out the pits, then Dodgy 13th, 140.7. And Magenta Fairs 151.5 so far as our quickest. So still learning is Magenta, daughter of legendary Stewie Mac. Nice. Little Driftertron through there for Magenta. Dylan, though, has gone quicker, 136.711. So less than a tenth quicker than Chainsaw. Outlap at the minute, 11 minutes of quali. So we've got just over 3 minutes left. Still a chance to better that time. Whether he can or not. What was the lap time saying? He's got... no, he's only got the 136. The other one was a 137.1. So this being an outlap, what's he going to get? I don't think he's not going to see 2 laps, I don't think. Is he also putting in purple sectors as well? Can he go quicker? His current fastest 137.4. Let's just see him through this next timing line, see what he's got. Oh, he's down a little bit. Tiny bit. Through that awkward chicane. Just get around his hairpin, see if he's managed to keep the pace up. Timing mark coming up now. He's gone quicker, it'll keep him in 3rd. I don't think he'll be able to gain another 0.3 of a second along here. So probably stay in 3rd then Diz. So I don't think that's going to better the time he's got already. It does, 136.9. But it's kept him in 3rd, but it has gone quicker. So Dylan on an outlap now, looking to get that last final blast in, try and cement that top spot. Chainsaw on his fast lap now. See what Chainsaw's got. He's only got a couple of corners to go through this awkward chicane. Oh, a little bit wide through there. It's going to cost him a little bit wide through the final turn as well. We've got a minute remaining. So 1:36.6. He's gone quicker still, even with a bit of off-track action. Puts himself back onto pole. Great lap there from Chainsaw. 13 thousandths faster than Dylan. Dylan now on his fast lap. Purple sector. Looking to take it back then. Has he got time? Where is he? Depends how lenient lobby host is. We'll see. Tight through there. Next time in line, coming up around this hairpin. Let's see what he's got. Can he keep the pace up? Has 0.3 of a second. He's still up then, is Dylan. Go through this chicane cleanly. Keeps it on track. Doesn't pick up a penalty with the tight line through the exit there. Gets the power down as early as possible. So we are over the 15 minutes. This will become... There it is, 1:36.268 for Dylan. He sticks himself back on pole. Almost half a second faster than Chainsaw. Getting it all together then right at the end for Dylan. So Chainsaw's second, Dizzy third. Gamerdad in fourth, Don in fifth. Valium sixth, Manny in seventh. Fizz in 8th, Pilgrim in 9th, Convicts 10th, Alberto 11th, Green P 12th, Dodgy in 13th, and Magenta in 14th. There he is, pole sitter. Right at the end. Here we go then, 40-minute race. Let's see how they get on through these first few turns. Quite a wide circuit, it does narrow out in places. I'll be able to go a couple of wide into the first turn. We'll see how they get on. Give me a better view, PlayStation. Damn you. Damn it. That it. Swines. So revs are up, just wait for them to peel away. I can't see the lights unfortunately, so they're off now. Start by everyone by the looks of it. Fez away as well, so back up front, Dylan still leading. Wasn't pipped by Chainsaw. He's got a pretty good run as well as Dylan. Chainsaw second. Dizzy just getting one, and then we switch to Dizzy. Dizzy in third, then Gamerdad fourth, being pushed by Valium. Valium have to go defensive. Don, we've got Fizz Ruckus trying to creep down the inside there as well. Tries to get himself down the inside of Valium, side by side on the exit. Just going to win out. Valium holds it. Fizz is carrying some good speed though. Don's looking down the outside of Fizz into the chicane. Slots himself through as Don up into sixth position. Just want to get myself back up front. Chainsaw's retaken the lead. So retaken, he's taken the lead off Dylan. Dylan's got the inside line into the hairpin though. So retakes that top spot. Chainsaw still second. Dizzy closed up on these two. Done fourth. Valium still holding fifth. Don in sixth. So not getting the best of qualifiers, Don, but usually pulls out some decent results in races. As we know, taking the win at the Nations Cup last night. Everyone's slotted into a train then trying to get the slipstream. Are we going to see Chainsaw make a move on Dylan? No, too far back on this one. Different lines through there. Drivers carrying various amounts of speed. Got the Space Raiders logos on with Gamerdad. pressure on Dizzy for that third place. Dizzy's just got to be careful he doesn't drop the two guys in front, half a second gap between them. Gamer Dad looking down the inside. Headed down towards the chicane then. Dizzy carries great speed through there. Stepping out, Chainsaw's picked himself up half a second penalty in that second position. And all the while, Dylan is just creeping off down the road. 1.3 second gap he's got over Chainsaw. Chainsaw getting it wrong then, picking up that penalty. It's allowed Dizzy and Gamer to keep in touch with him. They've still got Valium tucked in the background there. Don is only 0.8 of a second back. He's only got to gain, oh he's not, he's 3/4 of a second back, so he will be getting a tow. He will also be dragging Fizz with him. Fizz in 7th, a little bit of a gap back to Manny, 1.1 seconds. So just out of that tow range at the minute for Manny. Pilgrim in 9th, 2.1 seconds back. Convict's 10th, 1.3 back. He's got Green P only 0.3 back. Green P, is he going to make a move here? No, a little bit too far back again. It's quite a short straight really. Dodgy at 12th, another 2.8 back. Aldo 1.4 back from Dodge. Magenta Fez 19 seconds back. Again, all new to the sim racing world is Magenta. So I think she's just quite happy to get laps in, to be perfectly honest. Dylan then still holding that 1.2 second lead. Chainsaw's pulled a tiny bit of a gap between himself and Dylan. Gamer Dad fires one around the outside though. Chucks himself, just missed that. Dizzy then losing that position. Gamer taking 3rd. Flash of the lights from Dizzy. I don't know whether he's not happy about that or whether he's saying, Jesus Christ, that was an amazing move. Into this hairpin then. Gamer Dad tucks onto that apex, a little bit wide, not slowing him down too much though. Still got Valium just in the background. Don's closed the gap back up on him, dragging Fizz properly with him. Valium sliding himself out of the way, letting Don come through. Is that going to allow Valium through as well? It does. Not quite. Valium not quite able to carry the speed, so Don's got himself up into 5th. He's only 1.2 seconds back as well. He's out of the slipstream range of the top 4. Starting to spread out a little bit now. See the top 2, Dylan and Chainsaw. Dylan's got it wrong somewhere, so Chainsaw's closed that gap right up on him. Not dropped that penalty yet. And we've got Gamer Dad and Dizzy still pretty close together. There in the background, Don, Valium, Fizz, and Manny. Manny actually closing that gap up. Less than, just jumped back over a second, but it was less than a second, the gap between Manny and Fizz. He needs to bring that down a couple more tenths. 3.2 back to 9th position. Pilgrim also picked himself up a little bit of a penalty. Into that awkward chicane. Convict still 10th. Still got Green P hanging on to him. Dodgy in 12th. Aldo 13th, trying to hang on to the coattails of Dodge as well. And Magenta 14th. But looking good through there. Awkward turns they can be. So Dylan still holding that top spot. Is Chainsaw just taking his time? Doesn't look like it. He's not been able to do any fuel saving. He's not been able to spend that much time tucked into the slipstream of Dylan in front. Still had to use a bit of fuel. Might start benefiting now. He might be able to squeeze one extra lap out if he can get into that slipstream. Same with Dizzy if he can get into the slipstream of Gamer Dad, but they've got to think about these drivers coming up behind them. Valium and Fizz. Fizz trying to rally his Renault then to make the move on Valium. holding out for now. He's tucked himself onto the left-hand side of the track to gain the advantage into the turn. Fizz Ruckus looking to carry the speed on the slightly wider line. Fizz does carry the extra speed then, gets himself up into 6th. Valium 7th. He's getting a little bit loose through the chicane. Manny is right on the rear end of these two now, so 0.4 of a second back. Oh my god, Valium going off-road himself. Manny not able to take advantage of that, but he's gone wide through there, so Manny does sneak himself through. So losing 2 positions in quick succession there for Valium. Won't be happy with that. Closes back up on Manny through there. Might be close enough to make a move if he can stick with these two down the straight. Again, he's gone deep through there though. Can he carry good speed on the way out? No, 0.6 of a second back. It was 0.3. Valley and them just struggling then last few turns there. Dylan and Chainsaw still bolted together. Chainsaw still holding penalty. They're looking to go side by side. Stop it, making me change camera angles too much. Can't get a little bit loose, these Renaults. Still hot on the tail of Dylan in front. Little purple sector there for Chainsaw as well, the Lithuanian. Oh, nearly losing it, so he's going to have dropped a bit of time then to Dylan. Still within that slipstream range though, didn't lose too much time at all into this hairpin. Different lines into there, Dylan just going a little bit defensive, possibly didn't quite need to. Extends again a tiny bit, almost half a second. Chainsaw, that's the chicane I was talking about. Just run himself a bit wide there, now 3/4 of a second between these two. Let's see what Dylan's got at the end of the straight. 0.8. So closed down a little bit to Chainsaw, but that tiny little mistake might have cost him. Dylan can keep it clean, keep himself, or keep Chainsaw out of that slipstream range. We'll see, we'll come and have a look back at that. So Dizzy 3rd then, Don's got himself up into 4th. Manny, oh, Manny into the wall, 5th, what's happened behind? Gamer Dad's now 7th, Gamer Dad's been in for tyres, that's why. Because I've not been looking. Gamer Dad, oh, tiny bit of contact between himself and Manny through that turn. Almost pushed Gamer Dad off track. Valium also looking to get past Manny as well. Both those drivers haven't stopped. Picked himself up a penalty there as well. Oh, there we go. Chainsaw going for the move down the inside of Dylan. Going to win out down here. And Dylan just holds it. He just holds it, carries the speed. Magenta Fez is off track in the background. She does do that when she sees drivers coming up behind her. Just doesn't want to get in the way. So that 0.8 advantage that Dylan had is now gone. 0.5 of a second dropping as well. Again, quite a short straight this one, so difficult to get the move done. Dizzy and Don in the pits then. 3rd and 4th place drivers. Have these boys got enough fuel on? I think Dylan's got plenty on. Chainsaw looks like he's used a fair bit more than Dylan. So now the slipstream's going to help him. Just be able to lift off the throttle a tiny little bit. coasting to some of these turns without losing the any time to Dylan in front. It's been a bit of a yo-yo battle between these two. The gap has extended and come back together. So still 0.5 of a second. They should both make it round to the pits. Chainsaw just dropping a tiny little bit of penalty there. Chainsaw just doesn't want to hope he loses all his fuel around these last couple of turns. Won't put him in too much danger because he's quite close to the pits, but it will drop his time to Dylan. Did get a wheel on the grass there as well. Dropped a bit more time, 1.3 seconds down. So these drivers in the pits, Dylan in, Chainsaw in. Fizz Ruckus, he'll have to come in as well, almost out of fuel. Dizzy's already been in, he's out on a fresh set of racing softs. It's half a tank on. Don, very similar, half a tank racing softs. Gamer Dad racing super softs and half a tank. Pilgrim, softs and half a tank. Valium, softs and half a tank. Manny, softs and a full tank. Aldo has gone for super softs and half a tank. Green Pea, half a tank softs. Full tank super softs for convicts. That's going to hurt those soft tyres. Oh, Dodgy, where you go, Dodgy? Getting the final turn all wrong. Maybe looking for a shortcut into the pits. Magenta Fez going for the overtake. She's a lap down though, unfortunately. Super softs on board for Magenta. Dodgy with the softs. Right, let's see where these two have come out. Dylan still leading then. Gained a bit of time just as they came into the pits. 1.2 seconds over Chainsaw. Time's bouncing around quite a lot. It went from 1.4 to 1.1 straight away. Dylan almost launching his car into space there. Got to be so careful not to upset these cars. You saw Chainsaw do, just get a little bit tail happy. Perhaps still at 1.1 then between the top two. Dizzy now only 1.6 seconds back in third. Don in fourth, 2 seconds back. Gamer Dad in fifth, another 5 seconds back in the Space Raiders. Fizz Ruckus in sixth. Yoda on the save, Baby Yoda. Valium 7th, Pilgrim in 8th, Manny 9th, Aldo 10th, Green Pea 11th, Convicts in 10th, 12th, let's go backwards, Dodgy in 13th, and Magenta 14th. Gap starting to come down then again between Dylan and Chainsaw. Wrong through the chicane. Does he pick up a penalty through there, Dylan? Sneaky, sneaky Dylan. I think his car was wobbling about so much it didn't register that all 4 wheels were off the track. But you can see what that's done. Chainsaw is all over his rear end again. That's all that gap he had is all the way back down to half a second. Dizzy 3 seconds down. Another 3.2 down. Oh, who's that? Gamer Dad. He's got it all wrong through that chicane. He's put it in the wall, picked up a bit of rear end damage. Trying to get it in a straight line. Mid-rear engine cars, these. Can be a little bit twitchy. Gets himself back on track then, 8th. Losing 4 positions. 5. Yeah, 4 positions there for Gamer Dad. Down in 8th and from 4th into the pits then. Repairs and tyres. Oh, is he just going for repairs? No, he's sticking tyres on as well. Yeah, good move. Get that damage repaired as well. Dukes, evening brother, how you doing? Dylan still leading. Oh, Chainsaw's run it wide again. Was lucky, kept it in a straight line. Now 0.6 of a second back. Little mistakes coming in from both drivers. So Dizzy 3.9 seconds back. Don 3.1 seconds back. Oh, sorry. Gamer Dad had already lost a position to Don. So only actually losing 3 positions then, Gamer. But he's been in the pits and been repaired, so he's lost a few more positions now as well. Fizz in 5th. Valium still in 6th. Hotly contested by Pilgrim at the minute for that position. Looking to come down the inside a tiny bit there. Pilgrim backed out of it. Decided to lose some of that penalty instead. Into this awkward chicane we've just seen Gamer Dad going backwards into. Valium trying to emulate the move. So Pilgrim 7th. Manny in 8th, Aldo 9th, Green P 10th, Gamer Dad back out, repaired, fueled up, ready to go in 11th. Convicts in 12th, another penalty holder, Dodgy in 13th, Magenta 14th. Still on it, these two, Chainsaw and Dylan. Chainsaw losing more penalty then, still holding 1.6 seconds. There you go, let's get ourselves on board with Dylan being chased by Chainsaw. That's not where you want to be here, is it? Chased by a Lithuanian Chainsaw last night. Holding that inside line then into this hairpin again. Dropping a bit more on that penalty for Chainsaw. Piling the pressure on Dylan. Can they both get it clean through this chicane? Chainsaw does like running wide through there. Almost dive up the inside for Chainsaw. Closes that gap right back up on Dylan. Quarter of a second between these two drivers. Chainsaw might be able to slot one up the inside here. We'll see. Dylan's gone defensive. Chainsaw though carrying good speed through here. I think Dylan's just going to win out. Or is he? Or is he? Heading down. He's going to have the advantage into this turn. Is he? No, he's not. Chainsaw already in front. He's giving plenty of space, but he's carrying the speed. So he does get himself up into top spot now. Dylan now second. Chainsaw actually keeping it on track through that turn this time, but coming back strong is Dylan. Does he chuck one back up the inside here into the chicane? Backed out. Good move. Maybe just trying to pressure Chainsaw into a mistake. So roles reversed then for the second part of this race. Into the tight hairpin. Magenta running a little bit fast into that, getting it off track. Into this awkward chicane again. Just got to be so careful on the exit. Closes the gap back up on Chainsaw. Needs to get similar move done back down the inside or the outside of this first turn, really. 0.4 of a second the gap. Back down to 0.3, but still not close enough to make a move. So, is the reserve driver going to take the win tonight? That'll upset people, won't it? Eh? Can Dylan get the position back? While we've been looking at these two, Don has got himself up into third. As Diz pit? Yes, Diz is coming for a fresh set of tyres. Super Softs That's allowed Don up to third. He's got 8.3 seconds over Diz. So probably lose that position again. Whether it brings him back in touch at the end of the race, we'll see. So Dizzy then fourth. Fizz in fifth. Valium sixth. Manny seventh. Gamer Dad eighth. Making up a few more positions then Gamer. Pilgrim ninth. Green P hot on his tail now. A little bit deep through there for Green P. Both keeping on track through the exit. How do they get on into the chicanes? Yeah, cleanly through there. Aldo 11th, just heading down towards the same section. Car absolutely spattered in logos and stickers. Convicts Popeye in 12th. Chased by Dodgy at the minute. Fresh set of tyres on board for Convicts, so unfortunately for Dodgy, he's on a set of softs that have seen a few laps. He's holding a big chunk of fuel as well as Dodgy. Convicts is actually holding a little bit more fuel. See whether we'll keep an eye on whether Dodgy could stick with Convicts. And Magenta Fez 14th. Racing super soft, pretty beaten up. And just over half a tank for her. These two. I may as well have one camera following these pair. Raul Baba. Evening, mate. How you doing? So, Chainsaw, I think that's twice I've said that. Chainsaw then taking the lead off of Dylan a couple of laps ago. I'm going to see Dylan. No, Dylan decides not to bung one down the inside into the final turn. Quarter of a second back himself now. We might see Dylan go for a move. Both drivers starting to run out of fuel, so they will have to pit again. Drivers getting good exits through there. Still 0.2 of a second between them. Closing up for Dylan. So on board with Dylan now, chasing Chainsaw. So we look at Dylan's tank versus Chainsaw's. Dylan's got about an eighth of a tank, whereas Chainsaw has got a hell of a lot less. So he might pit at the end of this lap, which will release Dylan back up into top spot. Although he's got the worn out tyres, he might be able to stick a good lap in without having the battle with Chainsaw. We'll see when he comes out the pits, we'll see. But yes, I think we're going to see Chainsaw in the pits this lap. We'll just keep an eye on that. I don't think he's got enough on board to do another one. He's a very, very brave man if he is. He does come in. Dylan follows him in. Okay, so Dylan can now take on board less fuel in this pit stop. Gain the advantage that way rather than doing the extra lap. We're looking at that counter. How much fuel does he need? Who gets released first? Dylan's out. What's the gap going to be? So half a tank, a fresh set of racing softs on board for Dylan. Chainsaw softs and just over half a tank. He's going to have to stop again before the end of this one, so that gap will extend again when he comes in. It's all about these two though. Gap up to 1.5 between Dylan and Chainsaw. have now, Raul. They have now. Chainsaw getting it a little bit wrong again. Now 1.7 seconds the gap. Is the pressure starting to pile up on him? Just seeing that timer tick down. Seeing the gap extend between himself and Dylan as well. Might just be enough to make those sweat beads run down his forehead. So Dizzy comfortably in third at the minute. Closest rival Don in is 11.1 seconds back. Although he is suited and booted for the end of the race. He's got plenty of fuel on, fresh set of soft tyres. So I think when Dizzy comes in, Don and Dizzy are going to be pretty close together. Catch up with that when we see Dizzy chuck himself in the pits. So Manny doing alright as well, up into 5th position. Also fresh set of super softs on board. Just under 12 minutes remaining. He's got about a third of a tank on. Is that going to be enough to take him to the end? We'll wait and see. Pilgrim then 6th. He's only got a quarter of a tank on. Again, may have to just do a little pit at the end. His Rooker's still pretty close to him. Half a tank for a set of super softs. I think he's good to go. Valium as well. Half a tank set of softs. Gamer Dad, brand new set of softs, and over half a tank for Gamer. Maybe taking on a little bit more, too much fuel there, Gamer. Aldo 10th. Again, almost half a tank. A few laps old super softs. Softs. 11th, yeah, half a tank. A few laps old soft tyres, very similar for Green Pea. Dodgy, plenty of fuel on, but his tyres looking a bit beaten up. Very similar for Magenta, do a stick and a set of boots on there. So back up to race leader Dylan, he's still holding 1.6 seconds over Chainsaw. 10.5 minutes to hold on to that one. I do think this is going to turn into a good little fight here between Pilgrim, Fizz and Valium though. I want to keep my eye on that. Okay, Dizzy's in the pits now. Where's that going to bring Don? Where's Diz? He's been released, but he has been released behind P1 Don. So Don's got himself onto podium position here. Dizzy, let's just see what this gap's saying when it settles down a bit. 2.7 seconds. Soft tyres on board. Possibly, with only 10 minutes left, we'll stretch to a set of super softs for that one. Try and hang on to Don to the end of this race. Dylan then extending. More penalty for Chainsaw. 2.1 seconds the gap. So I could be right, my predictions could be true. The pressure might just be getting to Chainsaw a tiny bit. This is where he puts in an absolute stonking lap. Takes like all of that time out of Dylan. So Don third, 16.2 back, but yes, as I said, had a really good race, got himself up onto podium positions. Dizzy still 2.7 back in fourth. For a set of tyres on for him though. Manny fifth, 10.2 seconds back. Under no direct threats. He's got Fizz Ruckus 5 seconds back, and he's going for a move on Pilgrim. I said this was going to turn into a bit of a punch-up. So Fizz getting himself through. Pilgrim's got himself a big chunk of penalty, so he did just try and lose some of that through there. Pulling a bit of time over Valium though, 1.5 seconds the gap between those two. Pulls a bit of time back. Gamer Dad just in the background, 2.6 seconds back in ninth. 8 minutes left for Gamer to try and make anything back from this race. Pilgrim's come in the pits then, so out of the fight between himself and Valium. Oh, sorry, Fizz. So Aldo 10th. He's coming in the pits for a fresh set of tyres. Green P and Convicts just having a... Green P just got himself down the inside. I think he has. Up into 10th then for Green P. Convicts 11th. Aldo just coming out the pits in 12th. Dodgy on an hour lap in 13th. 33 seconds down though for Dodge. And Magenta Fez still putting these laps in 14th. Okay, there you go, look, there you go. Pressure's not getting to him, he's got the gap down to less than a second again. So Dylan's got 7 minutes remaining to try and fend off the attacks of Chainsaw LTU. It has been a yo-yo between these two, the gap extending and decreasing all night. Just 0.8 between them then. Gains a tiny bit through there, pulls a 10th or 2 on Chainsaw. Got a wobble on through there as Chainsaw. Renault getting a little bit squirrely through those chicanes, so losing time, 1.2, 1.3 seconds the gap. More work for Chainsaw to try and close this gap up then. It's a good run into the hairpin. Might cost him in tyres as they get to the last couple of laps. I mean, we are pretty much 3-4 laps away from the end. Oh, a tiny bit wide through there as well for Chainsaw. He kept it on track as well. Seems to be good at the old off-roading, does Chainsaw. Got that gap back down to 0.7. Having a great run at the end here then, Chainsaw, as he closes this gap on Dylan. Still too far back to make a move into turn 1. Let's just go and see what else is kicking off. I'm sure. Two still pretty close, so it does look like yeah, Dizzy closed the gap down to less than a second between himself and Don. Don's got a penalty he's trying to lose. It's this fight behind Fizz, Valium and Gamer. So Gamer made up another position with Pilgrim's stop, and he's now only 1.2 back from Valium, which puts him only 2.2 back from Fizz. Only 4 minutes remaining, but we'll see if Gamer can get anything done with that. Pilgrim 9th, still 1.3 seconds penalty to lose. Aldo in 10th. Okay, it's Green P. So Green P, what's happened to you? You must have got it wrong somewhere. You've just taken that position off of Convicts. Got yourself into 10th. Now in 12th for Green P. Convicts in 11th, Dodgy in 13th, and Magenta Fez 14th. She's ghosting out because that's what they set the lobby at, so the back markers ghost. Still must be freaking both of them out though. .5 of a second. Close it up again then, Chainsaw. Down towards the chicanes, is he going to throw one up the inside? No, Dylan's gone defensive, might be able to run it around the outside. Keeps his nose in. Oh, Almost off track again, but brings himself right into the fight now with Dylan. 0.2 of a second. Always gets a good run into the hairpin as well, does Chainsaw. Dylan just dropping his penalty, as did Chainsaw through there, so no advantages gained from either driver. Just going to flick on board with Dylan and have a look at his tyres. Yeah, very similar wear, a little bit less wear on Chainsaw's tyres. So, looks like they're going to see 2 more laps. This one they're just about to start on 1 more. Both drivers still looking to lose penalty though. Very wide there for Chainsaw, looking to get a good exit, carry the speed all the way down this long straight. Point 4, 0.3. Again, does he sling on? No. Dylan holds out then. I thought so. Don and Dizzy are neck and neck as well. I thought Don's blip looked a little bit too big. Don and Dizzy going to be battling it out to the end of this race as well. Let's just get ourselves back up front, see what's happening here. Dylan still holding on. Chainsaw drifting it into that hairpin. Just loses a 10th. Down towards this chicane then, where we've seen 1 or 2 drivers get it a little bit wrong. Dylan got it wrong. Chainsaw also though, slightly wrong on the exit. Okay, final lap coming up. Can Chainsaw do it? Can Dylan fend him off? He's got half a second as they come up to this start-finish line. So Chainsaw won't be able to do anything into turn 1. It's alright if I'm not looking at anybody else on track at the minute. I will just flick back to Don. Dizzy's got himself past. There's another little fight brewing here as well. Valiant Gamer. Who else we got? Manny and oh, it's Fizzrooker, sorry. Gamer, Valium and Manny. This is where I've got to be. Chainsaw's running wide through that turn again. Closes up massively through their Chainsaw, but again gets it a bit squirrely on the way out. Losing all that time, 0.8 of a second. That could be that fight all done and dusted then as they come into this hairpin. They've just got to try and get past Dodgy cleanly. I think it's Dodgy they're coming up on. Chainsaw just dropping his penalty through there. Closes the gap a little bit. And it just stretches up to about a second again though. Under less threat this time. Dylan able to take a little bit easier through there. Apologies to the other drivers that have already crossed the line, but I just wanted to keep my eye on these fights. So Dylan taking the win then. It's not been easy tonight. Chainsaw just run out of fuel. Just run out of fuel. Oh, unfortunate there for Chainsaw. Maybe a little bit of fuel saving at the end, possibly just to get him across the line. Dizzy then holds on to 3rd. Take nothing away from Don. He's had a good one himself. Backwards for Dizzy. Don backwards as well. Fizzrooker's in 5th. Gamer Dad 6th. Valium 7th. Manny in 8th. Pilgrim 9th. Aldo 10th. I'll get back to the rest in a minute when they reappear. Right, let's go and have a look. Where were we? So, we'll start from the top. Dylan taking the win then. Chainsaw second, Dizzy in third, Don fourth, Fizz in fifth, Gamerdad sixth, Valium seventh, Manny in eighth. So Gamerdad having a good recovery as well, actually getting himself back up to sixth. So Manny in eighth, Pilgrim ninth, Aldo 10th, Convicts in 11th, Greenpea in 12th, Dodgy in 13th, and Magenta Fez 14th. So that, people, was round 2 of P1RC's Renault Megane Trophy Thursday League. It's looking to be a good one. Some close battles brewing. That's what we want. Right, what have we got coming up? I forget what day it is today. It's Thursday, of course it is. It's Thursday bloody lobby. There you go, even though it says Trophy Tuesday on there. Pilgrim. Trying to mess with my head. Yep, some good racing there out. Some really good racing. Right, tomorrow, 9 o'clock, GTTCC round 7? 8? I forget. Many rounds. But yes, we're back tomorrow night, 9 o'clock for GTTCC. That's 15 minutes quali, 2 half-hour races for you lot. And then back Sunday night for the Tanso Racing BMW N300 League, followed straight after by P1RC's BMW GR3 League. That's 8 and 9 o'clock on Sunday. Monday night, we're back 8:30 for for Chewit Racing, Tanso Racing, Chewit Mini Cooper Cup. Mouthfuls. And we've got the TOR MRC League restarting again, beginning of March. Keep your ears peeled for that one. Other than that, that's pretty much it. If you've liked what you watched, give it a like, give it a subscribe. Get yourselves over to buymeacoffee.com/dartsmoker. Drop a little donation if you can. Thank you very much. My name's Dartsmoker. I'm out of here.